The 2019 WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony was without question the most wild Hall of Fame of all time. It's a Hall of Fame that would make you laugh in some parts and will also infuriate you in other parts and really worry you. But before we get there, let's talk about everyone's favorite, the red carpet. The red carpet for the Hall of Fame that's annually hosted by Maria Menounos and Byron Saxton. So they're talking about the Hall of Fame, some of the inductees. They have Charlie Caruso and Kayla Braxton interviewing the wrestlers. Charlie Caruso, by the way, wins Best Dressed, looking very busty tonight in that red dress, Charlie. Thank you for wearing that. You had the Iconics being interviewed early. They're both really happy. I don't know why they hold hands. Like, why are they pretending to be lesbians? I don't get it with the Iconics. We know they're both straight, but like they basically, in the way they post on Instagram, it's just weird. But they're life partners, but they're not into each other. They showed The Miz and Maurice coming in. They showed Titus O'Neil. They show several wrestlers, a whole bunch of guys. Baron Corbin, who's wearing a stupid hat. Alexa Bliss, who looks great. She's our host for WrestleMania tomorrow night. We didn't get to see her with Mama Bliss, Alexa Bliss's mom, who is beautiful. If you see the two of them together, you'd think they're twins. That family has some amazing genes, I have to tell you. My God. They show Mandy Rose coming in. She was with her mom. Mandy Rose is doing the whole Golden Goddess gimmick, so she's dressed up in all gold. They show Paige coming in. I don't know what they're going to do with Paige now. I don't know if she's just probably not long for this company, much longer. They just interview a whole bunch of different stars. They show Sonya Deville, who's wearing a tuxedo. They show her with her girlfriend. They show Charlotte with Andrade, who are now open about their relationship, unlike Becky Lynch, who is not open about her relationship with Seth Rollins, because it's clear that the two of them are dating. They've been spotted in several restaurants together, and they were even sitting next to each other in the front row. They're clearly an item. They also showed Carmella walking in. So we get to the Hall of Fame. They have DX interrupt the intro of the Hall of Fame. And this was a DX headline Hall of Fame, so we saw several segments about DX, several memorable moments with DX. They were the headliners, and they were going to make sure everyone knew it. They had Corey Graves and Renee Young hosting. I guess they can't have the King host anymore, but they were the hosts, and they took a shot at Hillbilly Jim. It's clear WWE is still mad about Hillbilly Jim's speech from last year, so they took several shots at him during the show. The Honky Tonk Man comes out. He's the first inductee. The setup is really cool. So what they did was, instead of the big giant stage, they basically left it as an arena. They have all the wrestlers sitting. There's no barricade. The wrestlers just sit. And then you have the fans in the stands. And that was a terrible idea, even though the concept itself was actually really good. I liked it a lot more than the original, just the big stage. You basically have the red carpet. You have the wrestlers come out through a Titantron, like an event, and then they just walk up to the ring, and there's huge stairs that take you to the ring, and there's one of the side of the ring says no ropes. The ropes are all golden on the other three sides. There's a giant stand, and there's a microphone, and that's how they do it. I actually prefer this format, even though I'm sure Bret Hart might think differently. So with Honky Tonk Man, he's the first one who comes out. Jimmy Hart inducts him. Honky Tonk Man's coming out with this chick. I really hope that's his daughter or his niece or something. I really hope that's not a significant other, but we all know who his cousin is, Jerry Lawler. You never know with this family, but my God, please let it be just a blood relative and not a significant other. He comes out. It was a quick speech. He just thanked people, and then he sang a song, so it was really quick. Tori Wilson was next. She was looking great. Stacy Keibler was also looking amazing, and she inducted her. I assume Stacy is going in next year because she's a star, because we all know when she dated George Clooney, she became a big household name. One thing I noticed, though, when Stacy Keibler was coming out, they showed Trish Stratus and Lita, and they look unimpressed about something. I don't know if there was ever heat with them and Stacy, because I'm sure they like Tori, but I don't know. They looked unimpressed. And you also saw... There's a cool visual. It shows Trish and Lita, and in between them, run row behind them is Sasha Banks, and they all have this unimpressed look on their face. I'm sure someone will make a meme of those three, Trish, Lita, and Sasha. But Stacy put over the woman who were main eventing. The fans went nuts. There was a loud Becky chant. Becky looked kind of embarrassed. she's doing good. She talks about Tori, and then Tori comes out. Tori was pretty emotional because it was revealed that her father had passed away earlier this week, was broken on Twitter. I saw the tweets. So I immediately felt really bad for her when she did the speech, and she was pretty emotional. She talks about her childhood and this kid who made fun of her and stuff. She talks about WCW. She thanks Stacy Keibler. She thanks Michelle McCool, Candice Michelle, Dawn Marie. I think every human being or every young male at the time can thank Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie for that classic softcore porn lesbian sex tape they did at Armageddon 2002. Thank you, ladies. Dawn Marie did stuff to Tori Wilson that night I think every single young man wanted to do. She even thanked Billy Kidman, who she acknowledged as her ex-husband. She brought up Kevin Nash, who hired her, Hulk Hogan. I liked her a lot. Then she got super emotional. We all know she would when she had to talk about her father who passed away, Al Wilson. That was legitimately her father who was with Dawn Marie in that storyline. That was her dad. Al passed away 2 days ago. We don't know how, but that's terrible. Her family even came. I just feel terrible for Tori Wilson. Like, that's just, oh man. So she got really emotional. She ended the speech good. She came off really likable. All the women always come off really likable in their Hall of Fame speeches. Next, you had the Legacy Awards, which really pissed me off. So, the Bruiser Brody is not good enough for his own induction. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck that. Bruiser Brody deserves his own induction without question. Put him in on his own. They should take him out of the Legacy Award or leave him in and just induct him on his own next year. That guy so deserves it. What a legend he was. One of the greatest big men of all time. He was a legend. Fuck you, WWE. I'm sure they don't want the heat because they all know the story of Brody. They're going to have to talk about Puerto Rico and how he was murdered. But come on, he has to have his own induction. I'm really mad. That's some bullshit. The other people they put in Jim Barnett, Mr. Shigma, Luna Vachon, who, look, I know some people are mad about Luna. Luna was never a huge star like Brody was. And plus, Luna, if she doesn't get in the Legacy, are they really going to induct her? Because I don't see it. Sooner than later, some of these younger women who are on the main roster, they're going to retire. They're going to start getting in. And Luna probably will never get in. So at least they gave her this. This is good for old wrestlers who probably would never get in. Playboy Buddy Rose, Primo Carano, Special Delivery Jones. I thought he'd get his own induction. Wahoo McDaniel and Joe Cohen, who was also there. He's the head of a TV network. He was there. So let's talk about when the shit hit the fan and fuck this motherfucking loser asshole. He's not a fan. He's just a douchebag. Fuck you. Before that, the Hart Foundation is next. You have Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart being inducted together. They have the old school Hart Foundation theme, which was really cool. I'm so used to hearing Bret's theme and Natty's theme. I kind of miss hearing the old school Hart Foundation theme. So they have Bret Hart and Natalya accepting. Bret's accepting for himself, and Natalya's accepting on the behalf of her father. So Natty starts first. She talks pretty good. She really puts over her father. Natalya's very emotional. We know that. She went on for a while, not too long, but then Bret took the bulk of the speech. He tells stories about Jim. This is actually a second induction, so I'm happy this didn't at least he had his own induction that went well. Oh God, I'm so mad. Just horrible. Who would do that to Bret Hart? What a dick. Oh my God. At least he got his ass kicked, this guy. Someone jumped the stage. He attacks Bret. He basically, he grabs him from behind. He does a single leg takedown or something. Like it was a takedown, not a suplex. And I know he attacked Bret because that's exactly when the feed got cut out. Basically, the screen went black. And when WWE came back, they showed the fans, and they showed fans like reacting negatively. They were chanting like "lock him up" to this fan because he did something. I thought it was a work. I thought there was going to be other members of the Hart family. They come in and they're all taking it together. That's exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was stunned. Like, what the fuck happened? Fuck this idiot. This guy was dressed up like he had his face covered. He attacks Bret Hart. He takes him to the ground. He does a takedown, and Natalya went down with him. So he attacked Natty. What happens is, you can see videos of fans recording this. What happens is Davey Boy Smith Jr., or Davey Boy Jr., he's the British Bulldog's son. He gets in there and he beats his ass. And also, Ronda Rousey's husband, Travis Brown, who's sitting front row, he jumps in. They both jump in. Braun Strowman gets up. He goes in. A couple more wrestlers. Dash Wilder goes up. Drake Maverick goes up. And what happens is Davey Boy Jr. and Travis Brown beat the shit out of this guy. They're beating his ass. Travis is just laying it into him. I wish he would have done some of those elbows to his head, like, and just bust his head off like he used to do when he fought. But Davey Boy wants, he wants to murder this guy. His uncle was just attacked. He wants to kill this guy. Then the best part. Dash Wilder comes up as the security's taking him out. He hits him with an uppercut, and this fan goes down. It was great. Dash Wilder the Revival deserves to retain their tag titles tomorrow night just for that. Wilder it was a sick uppercut. He just clocks this guy. He fucked this shit up. I loved it. I loved watching that motherfucking fan get punched in the face and fall to his ground. Fuck this loser ass fan, you motherfucking piece of shit. You fucking pussy. Fuck you. They beat his ass. He got his ass kicked. Security's kicking his ass. So many wrestlers. I just wish Brock Lesnar was there and he was sitting front row and he just ran sprinting at this guy full force and just beat his ass and just killed this motherfucker. Strowman probably hit him several times, but I know Travis and Davey Boy's son, they really fucked him up good. And then Wilder hit him with a great uppercut. So fuck this guy. And Bret Hart's shaking up about it. And what happens is everyone's okay. They show Edge and Beth are consoling them. Ronda, I think, went up too. She was mad. Like, her and Natty are close. And I feel so bad for Natalya. The one thing with Bret Hart is I feel bad for him too, but at least he did have his own induction in 2006. With Natalya, I feel horrible for her. It's like this was the only thing her father had. And to have it, like, it's going to ruin it. I don't know. I'm sure it's ruined for her. At least her and Brett, they did finish their speech at least. Drake Maverick, I thought he handled it well. He did a good job. He stepped up on the mic. Everyone was calm. And Brett, like, he was shaken up. He tried. I felt bad for the guy. It's just, oh, man, he thanked so many wrestlers. He mentioned so many great tag teams. I just felt terrible for Bret Hart and Natalya and Natty, man. It's like this was her father, everything. Like, would you at least do this? How could you do this for a wrestler who's dead? That's so disrespectful. Oh, my God. I'm legitimately mad about that. But, and they ended the speech. Basically, they thanked Jim Neidhart, and they show the Titantron and did the classic Anvil laugh, and that's how it ends. Just really horrible. Hulk Hogan comes out to induct Brutus Beefcake. Crowd loves Hogan. They're cheering him heavily. Hogan, all the controversy with him is dead. He can just come back basically on TV now. There's not going to be anything now. Beefcake comes out. Speech is okay. He didn't talk about the stuff Linda Hogan accused Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake of, but Beefcake was kind of boring. I mean, it was quick. He thanked wrestlers. It went a little bit too long, but I thought he was fine here. Warrior Award is next. Sue Atchison is the recipient. Dana Warrior comes out, give a speech. And one thing I didn't know is why she keep mentioning he, his. What's this? It was about John Cena. He comes out, and when John Cena comes out, the fans hijack the segment, and they yell, face Kurt Angle, face Kurt Angle. They want to see Kurt Angle and John Cena badly. The fans were disrespectful here. And I was thinking to myself, maybe they should just move the Hall of Fame to a private location, take it to a theater in the area, take it to a private venue. What you do is it's like a 200, 300 seat building or a theater. You have the Hall of Fame, you have the stage, you have the setup. What you do is all the wrestlers come, everyone in the WWE family, the wrestlers and their families come. That's it. That's all you need. No fans, none of that. All the people work backstage. That's the Hall of Fame. That's how they need to do it now. But Sue Atchison came out. Cena introduced her. She thanked a lot of wrestlers. She thanked a lot of wrestlers who were gone. Some of her favorites. She thanked Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior. This was good. She brought out a young man who she helped make a wish for with The Rock, who granted the wish for this kid, and he comes out and they hug. She thanks the fans. Sue Atchison was a really sweet lady. This was a really good one. Harlem Heat was up next. So what you have is when they come out, Stevie Ray is really excited. He's thrilled. Booker T went in the same location 6 years ago, actually. Actually, it was Madison Square Garden, but it was in New York. They did a good speech here. It ended, you had Booker talk first, and he had Stevie Ray go on for a while. It was his first induction. Then you had Booker close it out, and he really puts over Kofi. He puts over Kofi Mania. He rips into Daniel Bryan. It was a funny moment. It was really exciting. I thought they had a good time. I enjoyed the Harlem Heat induction. And this is, I think, was when temper started to flare. I mean, the show was almost ruined after the Brett stuff. Then you had the main event, which was DX coming out, and they basically, what it was they went out there and they caused a lot of havoc. They broke the fourth wall multiple times. All of them talked. You had so much to memorize. It was basically like a DX Attitude Era segment. They went on for a while. They all had a great time. They paid tribute to China. Before they really got into a lot of the comedy, they really put over China good. Sean did the speech for China. It was really well done. They mentioned Billy Gunn, and when Billy Gunn talks, they have Triple H rip into AEW. And the first shot actually to go back was by Triple H towards AEW. He says, "You're an executive vice president. Does everyone have an executive vice president job?" None of the fans reacted because I think it went right over their head. To me, I got that right away. That was clearly a shot at Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. It was like they were having a fun time doing it. Shawn took some shots too. They had Triple H and Shawn Michaels both wear the eyes, like Shawn wearing the big nose, Triple H wearing the lazy eyes to make fun of Shawn, which got a good reaction. Triple H was pretty entertaining here. It was like he's so tired of being in corporate mode 364 days a year. He can enjoy just, messing around with this Hall of Fame induction. I'm sure for his own personal induction, he'll be far more serious in that one. I'm sure he will. You have Road Dogg, who didn't talk as much. He gave a brief speech. He thanked God. Billy Gunn, when him and Triple H interacted a bit, Triple H said Vince McMahon will buy your whole company just to fire you. So they're talking about AEW. They do the whole Too Sweet stuff, and the fans start chanting Too Sweet, ooh, ooh, that stupid chant they do for the indies. And Triple H buries them. He's taking so much shots on AEW tonight. They have the Click. They mentioned Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Oh, by the way, Kevin Nash did the Too Sweet with Hogan when Hogan came out. But they mentioned Hall and Nash. They basically say something that's true. Without the Click, you have no NWO or you have no DX. I think the NWO probably headlines in a year anyways. I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to go. But that's clearly true. Without those two factions, without the Click, to be honest, you probably don't get either one of those two. One of the huge things that helped the NWO was the fact that Nash and Hall were buddies. If they're not buddies in the Click, then maybe they're not aligned in WCW. We don't get that. The Outsiders, then the NWO. So that was true. And without the NWO, we don't get D-Generation X. X-Pac was very serious here. He went on and he said something I think most people know. He probably doesn't envision himself being alive when he first thought of ever going into the Hall of Fame. He assumed he would go in, but he'd be dead. And I think most wrestling fans probably thought that too. He almost died several times. He almost died of an attempted suicide once. He was emotional. He thanked a lot of wrestlers. X-Pac gave the really emotional speech of the pack. Shawn, his speech was like, I don't know. I mean, he's saying, well, none of his family is there. They were probably there. And Triple H even rips on him for the way he dresses, which we can all agree. I mean, why does Shawn Michaels dress like a bum? Has anyone ever noticed that? Like, he always dresses like a bum. Even for WrestleMania, he's a bum. The guy dresses like one. It just makes me laugh with Shawn. The way he dresses. Shawn was quick, and then Triple H took over. He thanked his wife, thanked Stephanie, thanked his daughters, he thanked his parents. He even reveals his mother's the one behind all the dick jokes. They do some stuff with the Super Soaker with Billy Gunn. That was okay. This goes on and on. They even make a joke about Linda, and then Triple H jokes about his getting his taxes audited. Shawn Michaels starts talking about, look at the way the world is. right now, and it's because of us. For a minute, I was thinking, is he going to mention Trump? And Triple H looks right over us. Oh my God, he's going to mention Trump. He doesn't. Billy Gunn goes on, and they have Billy Gunn basically try to end it. He talks about trying to say that he's the eloquent one, and they bring X-Pac in. And X-Pac, they basically mock his mic skills. He cuts a horrible promo, and they don't talk about X-Pac Heat, but they're basically saying how bad X-Pac was on the mic. They have Road Dogg go in. He does the shtick, the New Age Outlaw shtick. It was good. They have Triple H saying, "Are you ready?" And then finally they let Billy Gunn, of all people, which is surprising because he's with AEW, but he closes it out. He says, if you're not down with DX being in the Hall of Fame, we got 2 words for you, and the fans do a loud suck it chant. And then now they have fully functional super soakers, and they basically spray people in the crowd. Triple H sprays Baron Corbin pretty hard. It was actually kind of funny. That's how the show ends. DX was really entertaining. It was a lot of fun watching it live. This was wild. I felt really bad for Brett and Natty. Those are the 2 speeches. DX was really fun. It was a lot of fun to watch that live. They were super entertaining. They were going places you wouldn't expect them to go. Triple H, I think, really enjoyed it because he has to be in corporate mode 364 days a year. Shawn Michaels is someone who just doesn't care, which is entertaining. Road Dogg, he actually got the least to do. X-Pac got a good speech. X-Pac was there. He knew, this was his chance to give his Hall of Fame speech. He was the one who was really there. And Triple H knows he's going to have his own induction later. And the New Age Outlaws might get their own induction too one day, so it wouldn't surprise me if they also get another chance. But X-Pac knew this was his one time to shine. So I enjoyed it. I thought the Hall of Fame was really entertaining. The stuff with Brett was a shame, but those are the 2 things you really need to see. Harlem Heat was good. Tori Wilson was good. She was, I thought she did well. I thought the Warrior Award presentation was done well too. I liked that. Hutchinson getting the award, I thought she was fine. Honky Tonk Man, that was alright. And Brutus Beefcake was alright too. So no one was really bad. No one went on too long and was really not entertaining. I thought most people were entertaining, and DX was good. And everyone's going to talk about what happened with the Hart Foundation. It was what it was. But in terms of entertainment, this was a very entertaining show.